Well, we met online. We met on the app Hinge, which we both said that we would never get, but we ended up meeting on there and going on our first date. But we first started talking because we were arguing about if it was a hot dish or a casserole, which obviously it's a hot dish.
Because on Hinge they have like the different pictures and like question prompts that you can answer, and so I saw that one. And it said, debate this topic with me, and she said it's a hot dish, not a casserole, and I responded with, no, it's a casserole.
I don't know, I liked that he said something about that instead of a picture. It was like a way to start the conversation, basically.
So, I mean, I think that lasted for like 5 messages, and then we started like just talking about ourselves. Probably
like why I called it a hot dish, and then they're from Minnesota, so kind of works out that way.
Our first date, we ended up going to Smash Park. I picked that. I had gone on some other previous dates from Hinge. I think she was the 3rd date I went on after I got the app. And other ones I had just gone and like gotten a drink with people, and so I decided I didn't want to do that with her. That Smash Park has like games and stuff, which I don't know, it helps get some of the awkwardness out of the first date when you're doing stuff.
There you go, the competitive nature.
So yeah, we went there and we got a drink, and then we played
darts.
Giant Jenga.
Oh yeah,
and I beat her at that. And then we played darts and I let her win.
Didn't let me win, I just won. Yep, so that was our first date.
Oh, you want to continue with how awkward the ending was?
We don't need to talk about that. The awkward first kiss was in the parking lot of Smash Park, and it was
not awkward.
I thought it was super awkward, but I guess I just don't like awkward silence. I'm very bad with it. So we stood there for a second, and I went in. I was like, I'll just give you a hug goodbye. Like, I literally said that out loud.
That was when it got weird.
And then that's when it got weird. But he ended up kissing me, so that was good. But yeah, that was the end of the day, actually.
And then she didn't want to go on a second date with me.
I really didn't. I don't know why. I just was not in like he said, I went on like a couple Hinge dates before, and my Hinge dates before were really bad. So I wasn't like, yay, let's go on another one. But he knows in the future. I just was the timing of it, I guess. But
so I give her crap on that, but yeah. I never knew that.
Well, that's why I kind of didn't want to go on the second date, because it was awkward.
I thought it went really well, and I texted my friend.
He texted his cousin, was like, yeah, it was a great date. And I went home and I was like, yeah, it was all right. It's just because I'm awkward. It's fine. It's fine. We made it work. Oh, my favorite date was we went to Badger Creek. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Badger Creek.
It's a lake and park area down by Van Meter.
Yeah, so he actually like packed a picnic, and we took his old truck out to the lake, and we sat out on the truck and had a picnic and had wine, and it was like the sunset, and it was really pretty. We just sat there and talked. It was a really good date. And then his sister will know that when I got home, we had wine at the date, and he got my favorite wine.
I bought the big bottle.
He bought the big bottle, and obviously I was not driving. He was driving, so I had a lot of the wine. And so I got home, and I was, feeling great, and his sister was there and had chocolate cake, and it made the date even better because I got chocolate cake at the end of it. So that's my favorite date. It was just really cute. It was a cute setup, and it was fun to just talk and see it was beautiful weather. So yeah, that was probably my favorite date.
So when I knew I wanted to tell Elyse that I loved her, it had been after we had met both of each other's families, and at the time, I had 2 young nieces. Now I have a nephew that's also our godson as well now. Yeah. But she met them and my whole family, and everyone loved her. And was it the first time or the second time that they saw you that they called you Aunt?
Second.
I think it was the second time that they saw her, they called her Aunt Elyse. So after meeting friends and family, and then I met her friends, we went back to her apartment at the time that night after I'd met her friends, and we had a lot of fun. And then, I don't know, it was a little bit after that, but when we were just hanging out, I ended up telling her, but I think I got about 20 degrees hotter as I was getting the words out because I was nervous, but
I said it back. Yeah, it was definitely meeting each other's family and our friends. We all got along so well, and his nieces stole my heart right away, so I knew I liked him even more.
They like her better than me, it's fine. My sister was still pregnant with our nephew, and we were over at my aunt and uncle's house having dinner, and she was outside playing with the girls, and my sister asked me, she wanted me to be the godfather, and she's like, if it's okay with you, we want to ask Elyse to be the godmother. So that was the first time when I said that my sister proposed for me, because it was like, well, I better be marrying her if I'm gonna say if she's gonna be my nephew's godmother. So I guess that's probably, I mean, I already knew before my sister asked me, but that, I guess that would be kind of the deciding moment.
We actually went ring shopping together to pick it out, and we went a couple of different places, and we were looking through the cases, and they let you try things on. But Michael had said at one place, he's like, I think you should try this one on, because he knew the general style that I wanted, and so he said, I think you should try this one on, and the moment I tried it on, I loved it. And so I tried to give him a couple ideas that he could choose from, so I had no idea which one he would pick, so I had a couple favorites.
There were two options.
There were two options that we liked, and so then he went back and ended up picking this one.
And so I was very sneaky about it, because my sister has had like surprises for like her and her friends ruined by the Find My Friend app, people looking on it. So like we follow each other's locations, and like sometimes she'll just see like if I'm like heading home from work or something. And so she was actually going to dinner with her friend, a couple of her friends, and so I was telling her that I had to work late. So I completely shut off my phone, like turned off my location services, and then that's the night I went and got the ring, and then like stuffed it in my backpack and threw it in my safe when I got home. But so
yeah,
she had no idea.
Oh, that's a good story. I was very tricked. I feel like I'm a very gullible person, but I literally had no idea. I was very clueless. I kind of had a feeling it would happen like sometime this summer, but I thought like later on this summer. And so when he asked, I was completely clueless. We had gone, his family has a lake house at Sun Valley Lake, and so we go there almost every weekend to hang out with his family. And this particular weekend we went down, and I asked, usually we have dinner with them on Friday, said, who's going to be down there for dinner on Friday? And he's like, oh, I think we're going to be the first ones down there today. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, because usually like we work later, and then we meet his parents down there. So it was a little odd when I showed up to the lake house, and we were the only ones there. But again, I thought nothing of it, and we went out to the back patio and had a drink, and then he went inside for another beer, and then when he came out, then do you want to tell the rest of the story? You had it well planned.
Sure. Yeah, so I had a huge group message with all of my family, her family, and like some of our like really close friends who are going to be in our wedding party. So I had picked out the date that we were going to do it, and I guess prelude to this was when I bought the ring. This was like 7 weeks in advance of when I was going to do it, and they had been having issues with COVID and everything, getting things coming on time. So like 3 weeks out, I like called them, was like where's the ring, is it coming? They're like, oh yeah, like it's almost like it should be here any day. And then like the next week I called, it still wasn't there, and then I kept calling like every other day. I picked it up the night before I proposed. And I had this whole thing planned with, I think there was like 16 of us down at the lake that weekend. So I had my two sisters, my two nieces, and my nephew show up first, and then everybody else who could be there at this time was hiding out in our storage building like a few blocks away that we drive by. And so I had like planned when I was gonna finish my beer, and my sisters were gonna text me when they were here. So then I went inside to get a beer, and I went and grabbed my nieces and nephew, and I had bought shirts for them. The girls were wearing ones that were just like relative to like something about aunt, which wouldn't throw her off because my sister could have bought those for her. But then my nephew, who's our godson, was wearing a little one piece that said, "Will you marry my uncle?" on it. So they all came out. My sister Nicole had our nephew Leo like held up against her, hiding the shirt. And then my two nieces went to her, and I told them to ask her, "Will you be my aunt?" And so
when they asked me, I was not fazed at all, because they had said like aunt before, and my soon-to-be brother-in-law would always joke about me being Aunt Elyse and so forth. So when Gabby said, "Will you be my aunt?" I was not fazed at all. I was like, "What did you say?" Like asking her again, and she's like, "Will you be my aunt?" And I was like, "What?" And so Nicole, his sister, came and tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Look at Leo's shirt." And I was like, "What are you guys talking about?" So I finally read the shirt. So this was like, as he was down on one knee, this was like a lot of seconds later. Like he was down on one knee for a long time, because I was not catching the hint at all. So I finally read the shirt and realized that I should probably turn around. And then he was down on one knee. Yeah, so. And then he surprised me with all of my family and friends coming to show up. So it was just really sweet. It was a special moment.
that's when she started crying.
That's when I started crying. Yeah.
She held it together until everybody came around the house.
Yeah. I think what I love most about Michael is he is super thoughtful, and he's a romantic, even though you don't like see it right away, but he's just always thinking one step ahead and trying to make my day. He's just super thoughtful and kind of knows me better than I do sometimes, and knows exactly how I feel, so he just knows what to do to make my day a little bit better. So he's just super thoughtful.
So we recently started living together a couple months ago, and there's little things like as I'm working around the house, I'll be doing like stuff outside, and she'll like poke her head out and ask me what I want for lunch tomorrow, which isn't like a big thing, but like little acts of, I guess, just showing that you're thinking about me and that you want to help out just makes my day easier. Like instead of having to come in and make my lunch for work tomorrow, it's already done. And so little things like that that she does, I really love. Also, she's very patient. I am not the most patient of people when it comes to stupidity with some people, so and she could definitely help calm me down if I am not as patient as her, but that's another thing that I really love about her.
What I'm looking forward to most about married life would probably be starting a family. He laughs because that's like something I wanted my whole life. I just love kids, and can't wait to start my own family. And then I'm also looking forward to just like doing everyday things with someone. I have loved living with him and being able to have someone to come home to and just to do fun things with, to travel, to do new experiences with. So that's probably what I'm looking most forward to. I love you.
I love you too.